All right, guys. Good morning. We are here today. It is Tuesday. We got retail sales data coming out at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. It's Tuesday. We got retail sales data coming out at 8. Retail sales data might move markets. Tomorrow's Fed meeting is definitely going to move markets. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Bitcoin has been running up again today, man. Look at Bitcoin up here. Up to 108s. If you put up like a 30-minute chart, you really see kind of what Bitcoin's been doing. So like look right above me here. This is Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin is just making this big run. Like look at this thing, man. This thing is literally just running up here. Look at that. At 106 and a half right now for Bitcoin. Like spot is probably at about 106 and a half. So just crazy big movements. Honestly, crazy big movements. Yeah. Let me know what you guys think Bitcoin is going to do. What's up, Ray, Pawn, Raz, JP, Matthew, Joseph, Demetrius? What's up, guys? Good morning. But yeah, we'll see if we get some more movement here. I'm excited, dude. Honestly, Apple up to 250, sitting right at lifetime highs. I remember I did buy like the BITO ETF and some other stuff with Bitcoin last week. No, I'm sorry. This wasn't last week. I bought all this stuff the week before Thanksgiving. So I bought it a month ago. And honestly, just to show you like what it's done in the last 20 days alone, this is Bitcoin in the last 20 days. So certainly a justifiable purchase here, you know. And people made fun of me. They were like, oh, you're going to buy it at lifetime highs. It's like, yeah, I'm going to buy the dip after testing lifetime highs because I think we're going to break it again. Hey, what's up, Beach Bum? Yeah, the next level I think is 125. I think 120 is good, but I think 125 is kind of like the next. We got to go by quarter levels, right? Like quarter, like 125, 150, 175, 225, 250, 275, 3. And I think we're going to continue to do that type of thing until we break 200K, you know, a million, whatever. I think that's what we're heading forward. So, yeah. It might be good enough, Demetrius. He says XR is all I can afford. That might be good enough, bro. Let me make myself a little bit smaller. I feel like I'm taking up too much of the screen here. There we go. All right, guys. Yeah, how you guys doing today? We did end up making money. So if you remember yesterday on Top Step, let me show you guys. So we did end up making money yesterday, believe it or not. We ended up making just under $100 on at least the main one that you guys saw me trading. I think we did. Yeah, we did. Okay, cool. Just to show you guys, tracking all the way back here. Yeah, so here's been our profit graph on our main Top Step X account, just to show you. This is our profit graph since like 11:25 or so. So you can see we've had 3 losing days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 3 out of 14 losing days. So that is 11 out of 14. So almost 80% accuracy in daily in terms of our winning days. So we're doing good there too, but we did make money yesterday. We made something. I don't know what it was, but we're winning about 62% of our trades. Our losses need to be a little bit smaller, but hey, that's how it goes. Nvidia to the moon today. Wish me luck. Hey, good luck, MK. What's up, Johnny? GameStop is the play. Where's GameStop at? Is it moving? I mean, it's up to almost $30. I hope it does well. You know, I really do. MicroStrategy. Yeah, I mean, the question is how scalable is MicroStrategy, right? Like, MicroStrategy has dealt with, like, it's crazy. Like, traders have such an unrealistic expectation for it. So, like, here's MicroStrategy right here. And is it doing what traders and investors want? No, but this is the freaking year. This is MicroStrategy's year. It's literally gone from $43 at the beginning of this year. Literally $43 to start the year. It is now at $400. It's literally gone almost 10x where it's from where it was, right? Almost 10x. Yet people are still complaining about it. And I think you have to have reasonable expectations for this stock. Like MicroStrategy, it's up 10x. You know, it's up like 800% is what it looks like to me here, 900%. And so you gotta have reasonable expectations. Nothing is gonna go straight up. And you know, yeah. What's up, Kay? Charts are so bullish for a takeoff. Tesla going wild. Where's Tesla at? Wow, dude, Tesla's gonna break 5 this year if it continues this trend. Crazy, crazy. Good for it, man. Not asking for financial advice. Do you think we go up a lot like Santa Rally? My friend says it will really start at the beginning of Q1. I think we could. I have no idea what I'm talking about, though. I might be wildly wrong about anything and everything I say. And I know you prefaced it with it's not financial advice, but just as like a good measure, I usually try to put this. I don't have any banners or scrollers in the bottom of my screen here, so let me fix that real quick. Hold on. All right, retail sales are expected at what? Let me see real quick. Retail sales are expected at core is expected at 0.4%, regular expected at 0.6. There we go. And so yeah, but before I say anything else on the stream, let me make sure you can all see these disclaimers as well as understand I am not an investment professional. I have no freaking idea what I'm talking about. I might be wildly wrong about anything and everything I say. Do not copy me. I'm not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose money. Always make your own assessment. Trade responsibly, guys. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Yeah, do not copy me. Just, yeah, not an investment professional. Understand CFTC 4.41. We're not liable for losses in any way, shape, or form in the financial markets, regardless of whether we're talking about crypto, stocks, ETFs, anything. We're not liable. We're one of the top 3 worst traders of all time ever. And so if you copy me, there's a big chance you'll lose. Now, with that said and out the way, what was the question? Somebody said, oh, do you think we're going to have a Santa rally? I think we kind of are already, no? You know, we got a week left before the holiday, and we are pumping up every day. Like, look, here's Tesla. Tesla's up big. Here's NVIDIA. NVIDIA's fallen, though. NVIDIA's very weak. So maybe this is the end of, like, microchip dominance in the stock market. If we look at the QQQ, it's up a ton. It's at 530s, almost 540s. Been breaking lifetime highs every freaking day for the most part. If we look at the SPY, you know, SPY broke lifetime highs, you know, about 2 weeks ago. But, you know, if we look at the S&P, it's still strong. But I think we've already getting a Santa rally and a lot of different stuff. It just depends on what you classify as a Santa rally, right? I think we've been rallying for a lot of stocks into the holiday season. The only one lagging behind is the S&P, and that's because it's less tech heavy, right? So tech is making moves, right? Like Tesla, you know, NVIDIA's fallen down. Netflix has been ripping up, broke lifetime highs again. Apple has been breaking lifetime highs pretty regularly. It broke lifetime highs yesterday too. So tech has been breaking lifetime highs. The rest of the market has stagnated a little bit, but it's still up big. And, you know, it broke lifetime highs on like the 5th, I think, too. So the S&P actually broke lifetime highs on the 5th. So within the last 2 weeks straight, every major index has broken lifetime highs for the most part, like that people watch to gauge the broad market. If we look at the Dow even, here's the Dow. It broke lifetime highs. When was this? Yeah, on like the 4th or 5th. So everything's been breaking lifetime highs over the last month. And so it just depends on what you classify as a Santa rally. And let me know what you guys think in chat right now. I'm going to vote on the poll. I'm going to do a poll right now. Do we run or pull back into the holiday? run, pull back, sideways. All right, vote on the poll. We got 3 options. There's the poll. What about the, so you're looking at the futures rollover? The rollover date I think is Thursday, but I'm not 100% sure. I know if you're on Top Step X, it automatically rolls over for you. And the one they're currently using is, let me see. Yeah, I think they, I think the rollover already happened, but I'm not 100% sure when they roll over. But I think the rollover's Thursday. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, though. I might be wrong. What is your opinion coming in tax season? Is it going to be slow? Sometimes there's what's called tax harvesting, which means that like big money and people in general unload some of their losing positions so that they have to pay less in taxes throughout the year. It's called tax harvesting for that calendar year. It's called tax harvesting. Like an example of this is that if I'm holding an unrealized loss of 5K, I think it's 3K is the max, but ask your CPA. I have no idea. I'm not a tax professional. I think 3K is the limit. I might be wrong though. But let's say I have a $3,000 losing position, but it's unrealized, right? And let's say the end of the year is coming. One of the things that you'll see happen in finance is that a lot of the time people will unload that losing position and realize that unrealized loss, so that when it comes time to pay taxes on their gains, they can subtract 3K from it, since they now have a valid realized loss. It's called tax harvesting. So sometimes we see that, but a lot of the time that is like after Christmas, because a lot of the time we rally into Christmas and then we might kind of pull back after the holiday. So we'll see. I'm not saying, I have no idea what's going to happen. Nobody really does. And so we're just kind of watching. Trade auto rolled this morning. Top Step X probably did as well. Okay, so it rolled last night on Top Step. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, and with that said, remember, Friday is quad witching. So Friday we have quad witching. So we do have that coming Friday. All right, guys. So they're saying, I'm trying this new AI system. Yes, I'm trying one of this new AI system. I'm asking it to create me a thumbnail. All right, chat. So we're at 44K on the Dow. Bitcoin's still pushing up big. Yeah, I'm trying this AI system. I mean, it's honestly not bad. So I had this AI system. I asked it to create me a thumbnail. All right, so yeah, it doesn't look bad, honestly. This might be one of the better ones. All right, so we see a donation. Thanks so much, man. He says, thoughts on all the open interest on Tesla and the money calls, especially way out of time. Question for viewers. I know you don't trade options. Yeah. I mean, you know me. I'm not the options. I'm not the top 3 greatest option person in the world. Yeah, Beach Bum's got a video that explained tax loss harvesting, wash sale, and other stuff. So check those out. All right, so yeah, dude, MicroStrategy up big. GameStop tapped $30 this morning as well. So GameStop did tap 30. Looking at our poll numbers, we got 60% that say we run into the holiday, 20% think we pull back, 20% think we go sideways. Hey, what's up, Sam? Good morning. Prediction for retail sales data? I'm not sure. I really don't know. Yeah, I really genuinely don't know. We'll see. I'm going to change the font of this, though. I think there could be a better font here. Yeah, I like this better. This is cleaner. Yeah, so we rolled over in almost everything. I'm not going to say which AI system this is, but it's not the greatest thumbnail of all time. But it's not bad either. Like, look at this. This is kind of dope, dude. I like it. Look at this. Like, it created this for me. It's not the worst ever, honestly. It's not the worst ever. I like the lightning effect of it, honestly. I like the lightning effect that, like, goes into the FOMC thing. That's cool. No, there's no FOMC. Well, it's quad witching technically, but it's technically triple witching, which means that, like, we don't have it. There's no such thing as stock futures anymore. Like, the reason they called it quad witching is because you had single stock futures, stock options, index futures, and index options that expired same day. There's no such thing as single stock futures, and so technically it's triple witching day. Friday, but we'll probably, but they still call it quad witching regardless, and so, you know, that's a big thing too. Yeah, honestly, it's pretty busy. We got retail sales data today, and I don't think we have anything else. Yeah, we got retail sales data, Canadian CPI data today. We got capacity utilization, business inventories, and a couple other things, right? But outside of today, tomorrow we have the Fed decision. So tomorrow on Wednesday we have the FOMC meeting and decision. So we got the Fed meeting on Wednesday. And then Thursday we have GDP data, right? So Thursday we got GDP data, Philly Fed Index, jobless claims. So we got a whole gang of stuff on Thursday too. Friday we got PCE inflation data. So Friday we got core PCE inflation data, Canadian retail sales, Michigan expectations. So just a lot of stuff this week, man. Like a ton of different things. I'm gonna change the color. I'm not a big fan of the green. What about like this yellow? It pops. I think that works really well. I think it pops a little bit more. Yeah. All right, guys. My thoughts on Tesla cars. Are they expensive? Like, my new computer's great. Okay, good. Yeah, my new computer's great, but I thought so. Tesla calls it the expensive, far out in the money. It's nice. I like it. Yeah. What's the false narrative, though, Sam? What false narrative, brother? All right, it's still early, guys. It's still early. All right, so we got the Dow up. I'm going to put the QQQ up. We got GameStop up there tapping $30 this morning. We got Apple around lifetime highs, broke lifetime highs yesterday. We got Tesla making a crazy freaking run. NVIDIA breaking down some here today, chat. So honestly, we got a lot of stuff going on in markets right now. Tomorrow, the rest of the week. Retail sales data is in less than an hour, chat. Retail sales data is in less than an hour. Let me get a timer up here. I forgot my timer this morning. So we got 52.5 minutes. Yep. Okay. 52.5 minutes here, guys. Here's the timer. I'll put the timer right at the end of the text so you guys can see, like, hey, this dropping then. Wish it would let me shrink it some, but that's okay. I wonder if I could use a timer OBS. Alright. Tesla overnight action was crazy. Yeah. What I'm noticing that the top scroller doesn't, like, there's got to be a way. Adjust the text source properties and use the scroll filters limit width option. Okay, I need to affect this. All right, so we got the top scroller properties. I'm gonna have to mess with the scroller filter. Scroll. Okay. I can change this to like huge. $1,000. Yeah, so I'm messing with a scroller here, guys. Sorry. That doesn't work. I don't want to limit the width. It's a little bit too large now. Let's make it a little smaller here. Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to get the scroller to stop cutting off at the top. Like, you see, it doesn't actually go through, so. Okay, maybe I should lower the font of the text, I guess. That's possible too. Let's see, we got the top scroller properties, select font. Font size is currently 256. Ooh, that's way too small. Let's try like 150 at the top. Yeah, so look, I mean, let me know if y'all can read this. I know it's kind of small. It's still not quite good. I think I just too much. All right, so I think this kind of works, but it's a little small still, but that's all right. Let me try 170, see if that helps at all. Okay, yeah, I guess we're just gonna have to keep it small like this, and then pop it right there. There we go. All right, so that lets me fit everything. All right, there we go. Does retail sales affect the market as much as CPI and PPI? No. But I mean, CPI and PPI affect the market more than almost anything else. Hey, thank you, Moses. Appreciate it, man. What you think about the economic data today? Miss, inline, beat? I have no idea. It doesn't say Santa Rally today, so thumbnail is good today. Yeah, but either way, like, I'm allowed to ask a question. You know what I mean? Like, I can say, hey, and I mean, to be honest, right? Like, it's all love, but I think we've already had a Santa rally. And so even if I didn't put a question mark, I think it's not wrong. You know, like, look, Tesla up at lifetime highs right now. Bitcoin at all-time highs, right? Bitcoin around all-time highs. Apple broke all-time highs yesterday. Microsoft's a little underperforming. The NASDAQ broke all-time highs when? Like a couple days ago. Yeah, yesterday, the NASDAQ broke all-time highs. And so even if I did say we hit a Santa rally, honestly, we weren't wrong, you know? Like, we're not wrong there. We broke lifetime highs on the QQQ yesterday. The NASDAQ broke all-time highs. And so a lot of people would consider that a Santa rally. And I don't think being the word police with Santa rally is a good move either way. But it's all love here. I get it, you know? Do you think the cut is already priced in, or should we expect a pump tomorrow? I think it's priced in to a certain extent. It just depends on, honestly, the cut is overwhelmingly expected. What matters most is what Powell says. So what matters most is what Powell says during the actual press conference. Like if Powell is bullish or bearish or hawkish or dovish, restrictive or easing into the press conference tomorrow. That's the most important thing. And I think the market's going to react the most to what Powell says tomorrow anyway. IONQ, yeah, I've heard a lot about quantum stuff lately. People were mad about MicroStrategy. IONQ pumping up on quantum news. And if you want to know what quantum computing means, right? Like you hear it thrown out a lot. It sounds big. It sounds important, right? Like what quantum computing means is like normal computers nowadays, you know, they go in steps. They're like, do this, do this, do this, right? And we don't notice the steps because they process things so quickly it doesn't matter. Right? Like do this, do this, do this, right? They process it so fast. We don't even realize it. It seems simultaneous to us because they process it so quickly, but it like conventional computers go in steps. So they go 1, 2, 3. They have a list of things they have to do and process and all that stuff. Right? Well, what quantum computers do is they are now capable of doing those things simultaneously in some ways, right? Some of those things in some of their procedure, they're allowed to do certain tasks simultaneously, right? And that allows them to do much more, much faster. And so they're basically much more powerful computers because they can work and process things simultaneously. And this is really simplifying it in an understandable way, but that's basically what quantum computers are. Super expensive, super fragile at this point in time. Like they break easily, super fragile, super expensive. But over time, you know, necessity is the mother of invention, right? And so over time, these type of things are going to get cheaper, more sturdy, more common, and probably more powerful too. Well, sure, but yes, that's true. I know I'm kind of talking about what you said yesterday, Kay, but I'm just kind of messing around. If I can't troll my audience, I mean, what am I doing in life here, you know? But no, yeah, no, it's all good, Kay. You're welcome here. I'm not trying to like run you off. I'm just joking with you. But no, it's all good. But yeah, so that's basically what quantum computing is in a nutshell. Is like, you know. Yeah, so basically, like, I see somebody going through the qubits and all that stuff. So superposition means simultaneous, right? It means that a qubit can exist in a superposition of both 0 and 1 simultaneously, which means it processes things simultaneously, which makes it a lot more powerful than a conventional computer. But the easiest way for Joe at home to understand this is to just say, hey, normal computers have a process. It feels instant to us, but they do have a process, and what quantum computers do is they process things simultaneously, which increases the power of the computer a crazy amount, right? Crazy amount. I said sturdy, yes, but not in a dance context. Thanks for breaking down quantum computing. Everything was running yesterday for sure. All right, guys. So again, retail sales data in about 40 minutes. Yeah, so QBTS, yeah, a lot of these quantum computing stocks. With all that said, right, with the power of quantum computing, there's a lot of quantum stocks that have taken off like big. Like look at this stock. It's gone from 68 cents at the beginning of the year. It's now at almost $8 a share. There's a lot of them. IONQ, I believe, is one. Look at this one. This one's gone from 622 at the lows in August all the way to 42s basically right now. Crazy. QUBT. It's gone from 35 cents in July all the way to almost $12 a share. So these quantum computers companies are big. And if we get some pullbacks, I might add some of these to my portfolio. I need a pullback, though. I'm not really big invested in quantum space, but I'd buy a pullback if we get one. All right. Yeah, we got 40 minutes left. All right, so we're looking at some other stuff too. You know what I'm wondering here now? Like, this is what I'm genuinely wondering. Like, YouTube recommended to me a really old song. And so some of my really old viewers, like me, maybe not super old, but y'all might remember a band called Smile Empty Soul, right? And I remember this band because I remember when they got big. They got big when I was in when I was young, when I was like a early teenager. They got big, right? Maybe a little bit younger. They probably got big when I was in like elementary school, actually. But I was watching the video and like looking at how they dress now, and I'm gonna show this to my daughter. Like, my daughter thinks the new style is so unique, right? But when I look at these guys, they look exactly like the modern kids dress, right? Like, they're literally to a T. Exactly how the modern kids dress. Let me see if I can find an appropriate image of this guy. But the style is exactly the same. Okay, this video just... Here, let me try the silhouettes video. Yeah, that's probably better. But they dress exactly like us. Or exactly not like us. Like, I try to tell my daughter that young people dress exactly like we dressed. Like, look at this. This looks like exactly how we dressed, or exactly how young people dress nowadays. Like, look at this guy. Let me take a picture of this. And so what I was wondering is, like, when is this style gonna change back to like style's cyclical, right? So now baggy pants like Jinkos and like all this stuff are big again. They're popular, they're big. I wonder how long that's gonna last. And I wonder, like, and this was in 2000. This is in 2000. I wonder how long this is gonna last and when we're gonna revert back. Typically, a lot of things in life make a very similar cycle where something gets big, right? Politics is a pendulum in the same way, right? Where something gets big, and then there's an overcorrection, right? An example of this is like in 2000, in like 2000, baggy pants were huge. Jinkos were big. You know what I mean? Everybody had baggy pants, super loose fitting shirts in some ways, like wallet chains, skater shoes, right? Like this is what I grew up with. And then it overcompensates. It's a pendulum, right? So it overcompensates. And so by like mid to late 2000s, skinny jeans are in. And everybody's wearing skinny jeans, and like preppy skinny jeans is kind of like the new thing. And then you had kind of the hipster movement. Anyways, the point is it's cyclical. So I'm wondering when we're going to go back from this, which is what we're back in now. Like this is now what's cool. And this was 25 years ago, to put this into perspective, right? Like this was 25 years ago. I'm wondering when we're going to go back to like skinny clothes and skinny things. The only difference now is like shorts are kind of like 80s. Ed Hardy is Ed Hardy really making a comeback? Flipped polo collars. I remember that. You know. Pharma Bro said short anything quantum. Why? Why does he? I'm not saying he's wrong, but why doesn't he like quantum stuff? What do you think of Tesla having a 300,000 cars in 2030 and charging $300 a month per car? $300 a month, man. I don't know. That's a lot. $300 a month is a lot. All right, guys, we got almost 400 people here. We still got 40 minutes left, basically, until this drops. All right, guys, so all right, chat, look at Qubit stuff. Let me see. So we got Apple. I'm trying to see where Apple's going to, man. Apple at 250s right now. Wait. This is supposed to be instrumentals. Is he about to rap?
How many years?
He is. Oh, dude, what are you doing? It's supposed to be instrumentals, bro. Come on now. We got instrumentals. Let's find a mood. We'll just go laid back. What do you think about Supermicro Semiconductor? Supermicro got booted off of the NASDAQ this week. So they're down. They hit low 30s because they got booted off the NASDAQ here. I don't know where they're going to go. With, I think from here it's up in the air. Yeah, I think from here it's up in the air. Who knows? We'll see. All right, so we'll see if we can get some good stuff in day trading today. Retail sales drop in 33 minutes or so. So we do have some time, but NASDAQ looks like it's about to dump. Morning, John. Any recommendations for entry-level watches? I have a Belova looking to get another. So I guess I'm going to tell you some stuff about watches, Frostbite, but you might not like what I'm about to say. All right. And again, I'm going to preface everything I'm about to say with like, buy what you like. It doesn't matter what brand it is, what anybody else says. As long as you're not buying a Hublot, you know, you're okay. But just buy what you like. That's the first thing. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. Now, if you want your watch to hold your value, hold its value, you got to go with Rolex, Patek, some Omegas, but they don't really hold their value like that, right? Like, if you buy an Omega new, like if I go buy an Omega right now, an Omega's probably going to be my next watch that I buy is an Omega. I have a lot of other ones, but if you buy an Omega from what's called an AD, an authorized dealer, you're going to lose money walking out the store with it, right? Once you pay taxes out the door, a brand new Omega, you're not going to get one under, it's going to be listed for like 6K new before tax, right? After tax, you're going to pay closer to 7. As soon as you walk out the door, you might be able to sell it for like 5. But over time, it probably will at least hold some of its value. But Rolexes are the king of that. So it depends on what kind of watch you want, right? Belova, you know, Movado, Citizen are all like good little entry-level watches, but they're not, you know, I had this misconception about what was a good watch and what was bad. I used to think a $400 watch was like a super, super expensive watch and that it was super, super fancy. And I'm not saying it's not. It's all in the eyes of the beholder, I guess. But if you buy watches correctly, they go up in value over time. But again, it's only going to happen from like the most expensive ones. So if you believe their development is being commercially viable is going to take a longer time than currently anticipated. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. SoFi? Where's SoFi at? Let's take a look. SoFi. But if you want to buy, it depends on your budget. If I was going to buy a watch and I had 5K as an example, right? I'm probably going to buy like a used Rolex of some sort. And I'm not trying to sound snooty. This is just my own taste in watches, you know. It's kind of grown over time. Hey, congrats, Michelle. Good luck. Yeah, all good. A Patek is like 100K. You're not really going to be able to get a nice one, you know. Wimbledon's were going for 20K, now they're 13K all day. Yeah, for sure. But you got to look at the big picture, right? Like, let me show you this. Like, there's a very famous quote, and it goes, "When in doubt, zoom out." Right? When in doubt, zoom out is how it goes. So like that's what it is. When in doubt, zoom out is how it goes. And look, I'll show you. Like, look. So here's Rolexes. All right. Here's like the broad Rolex index that takes into account all of them. And they're very similar, like investment pieces. If we're looking at them in terms of like investing, like, right, look. Here is Rolexes. Currently, average price for one is about 21,000, right? About 21K. But if you look at a max, like, look. So what happened here, and we can look at this as, like, we can look at watches next to economic policy and see correlations here, right? Like, what do I mean by this? I mean, during 2020, the Fed tried to save us from the underlying potential recession and depressions that were coming from the lockdowns, right? And so what the Fed did was they brought interest rates down to almost zero. They stimulated the economy by doing what's called quantitative easing, which is injecting liquidity into the economy, trying to keep interest rates low and influence spending. They also sent out stimulus checks, right? Now, we had all this money injected into the economy in one way or another. And what do you think the consequence of this was? The consequence was people started spending more, right? They started buying more stuff, specifically Rolexes. You know, I had somebody that said they were in Vegas during this period, and Rolex prices doubled during this period. They saw more people standing around the luxury markets in Vegas than they had ever seen before during this period of time, and it's specifically because of all this economic stimulus that we got during that period. And so post 2020, what happened? Rolex prices freaking jumped. You know, they freaking jumped. And there's always, just like anything in markets, sometimes a correction is necessary. But the long-term trend, when you look at it, like if you look at the long-term trend, since 2017, Rolex prices are still up almost 100% since 2017. So in 7 years, Rolex prices doubled, right? And so, yeah, I mean, that's the way you have to think about it. Like, you got to think in the 60s, 70s, a Rolex was $1,000. If you sold that same Rolex today, depending on which one it is, it's gonna have appreciated 10x a lot of the time, right? And so I'm not saying you could invest in them like they're the S&P 500, but they certainly go up in value over time if you zoom out over a long period. You know, and again, if you were gonna look back, this graph would keep going like this, right? Like it would keep moving up. So you just gotta understand, if you buy them right, they're an investment piece, but they're certainly not risk-free. You know, you could always lose money. I would just be careful. Hey, nice, Michelle. Yeah, in the end, guys, with most investments, and this is something that's true, I'm not even talking about watches anymore, right? Something that smart money does. Like, you want to know what works, watch what big money does, right? And again, I'm not saying big money super deeply invests into Rolexes, but in general, when you purchase something, you want to buy, and it seems oversimplified, but when you buy something, you want to buy something that goes up in value, right? Like dumb money, they buy things that go down in value to try to look cool, you know. And there's a very famous quote, it's don't try to look rich, be rich, right? Like the wealthy people I know, they walk around in flip-flops and t-shirts. Like, they don't advertise their money. Like, they don't want to be targets. They try to keep it undercover. They don't want anybody to know. And maybe that's against Rolexes in one way or another, but they buy things that go up in value. And so a car goes down in value. You know, buying a new car, one of the worst things you probably ever do, just because it's so likely that it's going to go down deeply in value. It's not going to hold its value at all. It's almost certainly going to depreciate as soon as you drive it off the lot, especially a new car, right? But if you buy things that go up in value, examples are like real estate, gold, you know, some Rolex models and other higher end brands. You know, there's a lot of examples. Stocks generally, like the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow. There's just a lot of different ways, but you want to, in general, you want to look for things that go up in value, and even if they don't, it's okay, as long as they can hold their value, as long as you're not losing money on them. But like, you give somebody $1 million, what do? They go out and buy a supercar that's going to depreciate half, like 50%, driving it off the lot. Maybe not 50%, it depends on what car it is, but yeah. But the other true thing is, like, time is your friend, you know? So, like, you might buy a Rolex and prices might go up, they might go down or whatever. Over time, it should appreciate, but, you know, it essentially, it keeps up with inflation to a certain extent. Wife's cars, yeah. Hey, what's up, Clinton? Hey, good morning, man. Tried to short the NASDAQ yesterday. It was scary. It was down 4K at one point. Managed to get lucky and get out with a $6 win. Hey, congrats, man. Thanks so much. Come on, guys. Like the stream. Yeah, we can get more likes and subscribes here. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet, guys. Hit the notification bell. We appreciate it. Rich people can buy fake Rolexes. Yeah, the super close are getting really good. You can tell the difference. You got to open the back up and look at the movement. But that's the only way, really, at this point in time. Is AMD still dropping? SoFi looks okay. It's up a little bit. Somebody asked me about SoFi. What about AMD? Can't type right now. So AMD's still fading big here. Wow. Yeah, interesting. Market dumping? Where? I'm looking at the SPY. Yeah, SPY's down to 604s. I mean, it's up so much. Again, retail sales data, maybe they're getting baked into that. We still got 20 plus minutes until resale sales. We got about 500 here. Again, retail sales data expected at 0.4%. 0.4%. We got PCE data later on this week, which are going to be much bigger reports. Retail sales is not nothing. Like, it's not just blank. But it's also not like... It might move markets. Again, retail sales expected at 0.6, core expected at 0.4%. So just to put this into perspective, core retail sales are expected to bump up 0.3%. Last time they showed 0.1% increase. Today they're expecting a 0.4% increase in core retail sales, which excludes food and energy prices. Last retail sales for regular retail sales, which includes food and energy, last time showed up at 0.4%. Today they're expecting 0.6%. So they're expecting a bump up there by 0.2% as well. We also have Canadian CPI coming out today, Canada inflation data coming out. So we'll see what that looks like as well. We also have some other stuff coming out later on in the morning. Again, we got capacity utilization, industrial production numbers, and some other stuff too. Let me pop out this chat. I've been popping it out and throwing it up here. Looking at our poll numbers, 50% think we're going to run. 30% think we're going to pull back. And that probably, that sentiment has probably changed since the market started to turn the other way. Yesterday was a great day, then afternoon. Yeah, I ended up making money, but look at 604s on the SPY. So we are falling down a little bit here. NASDAQ 22K reached yesterday. Yeah, we've already kind of gotten a Santa rally. You just got to have reasonable expectations for things. Nothing's going to go straight up in general, right? So, like, nothing's going to go straight up. You might have to just kind of wait. I'm going to put the NASDAQ 100 on the chart here. Nothing's going to go straight up. You might just have to wait. Like, that's just kind of how it goes. But so here is the NASDAQ. So there's the NASDAQ. I'll put the timer up somewhere here, like maybe right next to me right there. But yeah, there's the NASDAQ looking a little weak this morning. Coming down pretty big here. All right, guys, we got 20 minutes until retail sales data. 20 minutes. MicroStrategy. Where's Google at? Google's at lifetime highs again still, huh? Yeah. Lifetime highs on 260s for Google. It's at 199 basically. So Google broke lifetime highs right before the close, and that's certainly a stock that's been dragging the market back up some. MicroStrategy only up 600% year to date. Oh, that's it? Yeah, Tesla's been going crazy. Look at Tesla on the right. Hit 478, almost 480s this morning. Now, the previous lifetime high on Tesla is 460s, right? So if Tesla wants to actually confirm highs, it needs to hold these gains leading into the opening bell. Yeah, NASDAQ broke all-time highs yesterday too. Yeah, again, I cover every like market period where this happens. Like, you got to understand though, like, the Santa rally does not happen every single year, but it is like Look how weird that is. It tears the there we go. But it is like a thing, the Santa rally. All right. Greetings from Geneva. What is RUT, Ali? Waiting for NASDAQ inclusion on MicroStrategy. Try to buy Tesla at 5. Quantum computing company in the money. Yeah, we'll see. It's a tradition. Yeah, I mean, it happens. I'm not going to say every time, but it happens a lot. It happens enough, right? So it happens enough to, like, watch for it, you know? And this is what I'm saying. Like, guys, listen. I'm going to tell you guys this, right? And this is where I think a lot of people get stuff wrong in finance. Is that, like, it's an election year. Historically, election years do incredibly well. Like, statistically, if you look at election years, they do great. Like, 80% plus, I think, is what the stats are. I have to go back and look, but I think it's around 80%. Not 100% sure, though. And so most of the time during election years, we're going to get runs in the market, right? And so people don't understand this. And, like, you have these, like, people just constantly bet against markets. And again, I think one of the things is politics, right? Politics wraps people in. They get all emotional on one side or the other. It doesn't matter which side. But, you know, for the other guy to get elected, they have to talk about how bad things are, regardless of what the truth is, right? And I'm not even rooting against them or for them or anything like that. I'm very neutral politically. But just, like, regardless of which side has power, the other side wants to make you think it's just absolutely the worst it's ever been, right? When really the economy in the past year hasn't been terrible. You know, inflation's been bad, sure, but, like, a sign of a hot economy is inflation, you know? And really, people are unhappy from the inflation that we got 4 years ago, during 2020, 2021. You know, inflation really spiked in 2022 after the Fed did so much economic stimulus, inflation spiked. And that's the real reason people are still unhappy to this day. It doesn't have much to do with modern economics. It has more to do with the price rises that we got in 2022, really, 2.5 years ago. And so when you're betting against the market, you have to take that context into it. Like, I know it seems really tempting to be like, oh, we're up so much, the market has to come back down now. But that's never true, right? The market could always continue going up. And so betting against the market during an election year, you know what I mean? Like, when everything's been running big, it just seems silly to a certain extent. Now, I think we correct a little bit next year sometime. I don't know when, I don't know how much, but I do think we correct somewhat next year. What I'm saying is, like, betting against the market long term, it's a risky bet. It's a risky bet. And I think a lot of people are wrapped up in a lot of different stuff that gets them biased about it, but just understand that. Like, this year it was probable the market was going to go up. AVGO. What are your thoughts about Supermicro semiconductors? I don't know, man. Supermicro down a lot. They got booted out of the NASDAQ. I don't think that's a good sign, of course, but who knows, man. Maybe it's high risk, high reward. There might be a dip buy, and I know a lot of traders are going to be jumping on that, and it might go up. Like, we don't know, but the risk is too high for me to want to get involved. What do you guys think? Supermicro, good, bad? Green, red? Buy, sell? What do you guys think? Supermicro semiconductors. When was the first time we didn't get a pullback heading into the holiday? Well, I mean, I don't know the first time. Like, we don't always get a Santa rally. Yeah, let's figure it out. So, I'm going to look up how many times we've had a Santa rally in the last 20 years. Approximately 75 to 80% of the time, it says. Over the past 20 years, the Santa rally pattern has been observed in about 13 to 16 years, indicating a consistent trend during this period. It's important to note that while a Santa Claus rally has been a somewhat recurring event, it does not guarantee future performance. Basically, AI saying I'm not an investment professional. But yeah, a Santa rally has happened over and over and over again. Yeah, so this has been pretty consistent, showing up 13 out of, well, this is the last 15 years. Yeah, so it's basically 75%. Yeah, so will the market continue to run? All right. Most of the time. All right, where's your brother? All right. Yeah, so over the past 20 years, markets had a Santa rally leading into the holiday most of the time. We got about 10 minutes left, chat. Yeah, so again, we put the stat up. So that's a crazy stat. What do you think about Nvidia? 10 minutes till economic data. Yeah, we got a couple minutes until retail sales data. Hey, bud.
Hello.
How you doing, man? Huh? Waiting for what? I've already hugged Maddie. Yeah. Hey, bud. I love you, dude. Have a good day, dude. Love you, buddy. All right. Today's not trash day for me. All right, guys, we got 10 minutes. 10 minutes. We got about 700 watchers right now. Let's see what retail data does for us. Honestly, we bounced right at this low, so we do have a level here. Like, let's take a look. We've got a level. We got a level. Let's see if we hold over or under that level. I don't know. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, so me asking whether we're going to get a Santa rally is genuinely like a good question because we got it almost every year. My biggest issue with the market is that like long-term investing works, but you also have to understand that buying power in the future is going to be less. And that's the context that a lot of people don't feed into the market, right? Like you got to understand that specific context, guys. What context that buying power is going to be less in the future, right? Inflation's real. And so again, I'm going to give you guys this stat because I think it's an important stat to understand. Like investing works. I'm watching, and the reason what sparked this is I'm seeing something like, oh, this guy made millions over the course of his career, and his career has been like 50 years. You better make millions, you know? Like if you're not making millions, you're doing really bad, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's doing great either. Like we lose about, if you got $1 million, we lose about 2.5% a year to inflation, right? And so in 50 years, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, so in 50 years, right, $1 million in 50 years is going to be about the equivalent of 274K, 275K today. So it's going to lose it's going to lose 75% of its value. This is $1 million in 50 years is going to be about this buying power, and that's under the assumption that inflation is only going to be 2.5% every year, right? Which is typically under what you might think. So yeah, we got time, but yeah, we'll see. All right, get ready, guys. We're going to be trading soon. Now, investing is good. Dollar cost averaging is good, but you have to take that context into it. You got to understand money's not going to be worth the same into the future. It's just not. It's not going to be as valuable into the future. And that's in a really, really important context people have to understand. All right, so look, we bounced right here on the NASDAQ. We did the auto rollover. We're now on H25. So we're now on NQH25 is what I'm showing on the NASDAQ here. So the rollover happened. So if you're trading futures and your platform hasn't auto rolled over, it's time to roll. You know, so if your platform hasn't auto rolled over, it's time to roll. Also, guys, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's why you have to invest. That's why, like, people, like, if you don't invest money, you're losing it. You hear these people that are like, oh, I don't trust the market. I'm going to sit on cash. Well, cash doesn't mean anything. Like, cash is good, sure, if you want to buy stuff. But, like, outside of that, it's going to go down in value over time. And so if you're not investing in something, you're losing money. Yeah, join our Discord. There's our Discord link. Check it out. It's completely free. It doesn't cost a penny. Yeah, Bitcoin also. Very good investment hedge. Inflation hedge. But yeah, there's our Discord right there if you want to join. Completely free, doesn't cost anything. It's where you can reach out to me outside of the stream, talk to me, ask me questions. You can join our Discord. It's been growing a little bit. Our Discord's been growing some. I haven't opened it up today. Pawn's probably mad at me, but... Alright, so Facebook owner is hit with 251 million euros in fines because of the 2008 data breach. Yeah, $250 million in fees for Facebook and Meta. All right, guys. Hey, we got 5+ minutes left. 5+ minutes. Just under 6 minutes left. We got the timer right here. We got about 800 watchers. So, hey, we appreciate the love. Thanks so much. We'll see what retail shows. We'll see what retail data shows up as today. I'm not going to say it's a big market mover, but it might move markets. I mean, it's retail sales data, so it's not necessarily small. It just depends case-by-case basis is what you got to look at it under. Case-by-case. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a little slow, but tomorrow it's probably the slum into the FOMC meeting tomorrow. All right, guys, 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes. Bank of America says the bank outlook is optimistic given expectations for regulatory and growth, according to CNBC. Meta fined $250 million, basically. All right, we got exactly 4 minutes left. Make sure you hit the live button next to the play button. My timer's actually pretty accurate. Hey, what's up, Harris? Thanks, brother. All right, guys, 4 minutes. 4 minutes. We got the economic data live. We're waiting for it here. We got capacity utilization rate. Capacity utilization rate. I can never say that. Say that 5 times fast. I think a pullback until FOMC tomorrow. I think we might actually have choppiness too. Like a lot of the time, the FOMC meeting brings stagnation in markets, and it makes sense why is because like with the Fed meeting so big, traders are going to be waiting and watching for it, and so they're more likely to take smaller positions in anticipation of the Fed meeting, if that makes sense, right? Versus taking like big positions. You know, it just depends. All right, guys, we got 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Bitcoin could go to 110 tomorrow. Yeah, it could hit there today. I mean, it's up. It's at basically 107.5. All right, guys. Less than 3 minutes here. We got 2.5 minutes left. So every quarter, Jin, futures roll over to a new contract. So you have to roll over every quarter to the most liquid contract in futures. All right, we got about 900 viewers here, guys. 900 viewers. We still got 2 minutes plus left. Expectations, again, you can see them at the very top of the screen. Retail sales expected at 0.6% for regular. Core, excluding food and energy, are expected at 0.4%. We got the data dropping soon here, chat. Again, they were both expected to jump up a little bit relative to what they were. And we'll see what the market does to these. I think Nvidia is looking really weak, and I think the market has kind of stopped following Nvidia so much. All right, guys, we got a minute and a half left. Minute and a half. We got the timer right here. You can see it. All right, guys, 1 minute. We got about 1,000 viewers here. Let's see what we get. Here we go. Again, give me your last minute predictions. Higher or lower for retail sales? Do you think we're going to come in higher or lower? Red, green. You think we'll have a bullish or bearish reaction? Higher or lower retail sales percentage? You think it'll move the market? Won't move markets? We'll have to wait and see. You can see the NASDAQ on the left here. We'll zoom in. We could also put gold up on the top. Or we'll put gold up in the middle here. Bitcoin on the bottom here. I'll move myself out the way so we can actually see it. Bearish, lower, lower, higher, higher, bearish. Move markets, meh. Blood, higher, slightly lower and dump, higher. All right, we got over 1,000 people here. We got about 20 seconds left. 20 seconds. I'm going to stop this because we have about 15 seconds left. Hit the live button next to the play button. Make sure you're fully caught up on stream here, guys. Let's see what retail data shows. We're ready. 5 seconds. And there's the release here. So, waiting for retail sales data. Hasn't dropped yet. Market hasn't really moved. There's retail sales, 0.2%, lower than expected for core, higher than expected for regular. So regular retail sales showed up at 0.7 versus 0.6% month over month. Core retail sales showed up lower than expected at 0.2 versus 0.4% month to month. Yeah, so mixed results here. Core came in lower than expected, weaker than expected. So excluding food and energy, we had weaker retail sales than expected. But when you include food and energy prices, we had higher, by 0.1% higher than the 0.6% expected. So we came in at 0.7%, and the market is kind of looking the same way. Like, we had this big candle movement here, but it's kind of a doji candle because it doesn't know which way to go. We also had Canadian CPI show up lower than expected almost universally. So Canadian CPI showed up lower than expected almost everywhere at 0% on the month. So 0% for November for Canadian retail sales, and again, or for Canadian CPI. But again, inflation data showed up slightly lower than expected for core and slightly higher than expected for regular retail sales. I'll put this up on screen so you can see it. Again, we showed up at 0.7 versus 0.4%. I had 0.5% expected, but we'll put this on screen on the top. Yeah, so there's the regular retail sales, and we'll put core up there as well. Or maybe core looks at autos or something. Let me see. All right, so yeah, there's the data. We put it on top of the screen here. There you go. All right, so market's liking it. Look at the market push up. So we are getting some movement from retail sales. Look at this big green candle up here. Now, sometimes the first move is the wrong move, but the market's moving up a little bit on this report. Like, we're going somewhere on this report. And again, stick around to the opening bell, guys, because we're going to day trade the opening bell live on Top Step X. Top Step X #1 has 0 commission. And so if you trade futures on Top Step X, 0 commission. No PDT rule. You could day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, the Russell, gold, some currencies. If you day trade indexes, patterns are super similar to blue chip stock patterns. And we're going to day trade that at the opening bell live. Top Step is the most legit funded program. They give you a demo. They test your skill with it. If you pass the test in the demo, the base one's $50K. You got to make $3K in profit without losing $2K first. If you pass that test, they fund you $50K with a 90% split, and you get to keep your first $10K in profit. If you fail, you only lose $49 for the base one. It's not the end of the world. So it limits your risk. But if you pass it, you get a 90% split. You get to keep your first 10K. It's very similar to funding your own account. And this is a beautiful thing for new traders because almost all new traders lose money. And so if you fund your own account 5, 10, 20, 30,000, you're probably going to lose a lot of that. Versus risking $49 on Top Step. If you pass it, you could withdraw from them once you build up profit and fund your own account. Just a great way to learn how to day trade. Just a great way to learn how to day trade. If you were going to pay for a real-time data and a demo account outside of it, it would cost about the same, you know. But they're an affiliate of mine. I'm biased. I get paid by them, so I'm certainly biased in their favor. You want to confirm and check all of this with them first. But if you want to check out the link, here it is. Great way to help support your boy here in this channel. There's the link right there. Check it out. Always understand, guys, I have no freaking idea what I'm talking about. I might be wildly wrong about anything and everything I say. Do not copy me. I'm not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose money. You know, trade responsibly, guys, because I have no freaking idea what I'm talking about. And if you copy me, you'll probably lose. With that said, top 3 sellouts in the world right now. I'm going to get rid of that disclaimer. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Market is up. We're testing that 200 exponential on the NQ right now. Testing that 200 exponential. And look at that 200 EMA moving average. Look at this rejection here. And so this is why you should watch the exponential moving average. Specifically on a 1-minute chart, I think that's where people pay attention to it the most. Because when you're short-term trading, you can kind of see the 100 or the 200 EMA here. Look at that. It tapped it exactly off of it. Yeah, it's a 90-10 split, so it's similar, you know. Then it's a 90-10 split, yeah. All right, guys, so we went up to the 200 exponential on the NASDAQ and then came all the way back down. If you look at gold, gold's falling down some as well. Gold's at 2650s. Tesla's starting to creep back up, though it's at 475s. Bitcoin, is this lifetime highs for Bitcoin? Lifetime highs are 108,475 on futures. So we're very close to lifetime highs. We're not quite there yet. This is the all-time highs for Bitcoin futures, which will correlate with the spot all-time highs as well, right? So it's right around here is the all-time high level for Bitcoin. So we'll watch that too. Yeah, Nvidia's been falling down. Yeah, you could always buy it again, you know. Automobile sales account for about 20% of retail sales, but they tend to be very volatile and distort. Okay, got you. So core retail sales excludes automotives. Got you. That makes sense. Weeks like this with massive news, mid to late week, all can gravitate back to the weakening opening price. Maybe. Where see the market movement? I'm looking at the NASDAQ, and I'm looking at the largest candles we've had on the NASDAQ all day right now, except for maybe super early. So we're looking at the largest candles in an hour and a half here. So here's the largest candles of the day right here. This is the second largest candles we've had in about an hour and a half right here. The move from retail sales. So it's all in context of like zoomed in short-term price action, but still. John, you down with OPTT? No, you don't know me. I'm not down with OPTT. Yeah, you could always sign up again or reset your account. And it's good because it teaches you how to trade, honestly. Most day traders lose, right? It's probably the same regardless of where you go. Most day traders are going to lose. It's a lot cheaper to lose there in general on Top Step than it is to fund your own account and lose that, you know. And that's why it's important. I wish I had something like that when I first got started. But again, I'm biased, right? But I genuinely think it's good for traders. All right, so look at this breakdown. So we're coming all the way back down in the NASDAQ here. Look at this drop right here. That's a big drop. Rejecting the trend of the 200 exponential too. Yeah, Tesla still fighting its way. Look at that candle, guys. Wow. Look at that candle right there. It's a big candle. You want to check with them. Just go to that link, look at the facts. They might have some information there. All right, so we got this little pop Definitely in a downward trend right now. Is this a fake Pawn that joined yesterday? Pawn, did you join our Discord at 1:26 yesterday? Pawn. Hey guys, so listen, I see a scammer in our Discord. I'm pretty sure it's a scammer. We will never message you asking you for anything. Yeah, so again, I'm going to ban him. So the problem with Discord is that you get these scammers. Yeah, we just banned them. But the problem is you get these scammers that pretend to be like mods, and then they message people and they're like, hey, what's up? You know, we've got this great opportunity here, you know, and they just kind of, yeah. Yeah, they just got so many scammers, man. No, the dude didn't give me 40K. Of course not. Like, look. He probably... I don't know what he's doing. He probably was trying to look at my transaction history, but I gave him a Bitcoin wallet that I never freaking use. You know, because, like, I just don't trust people, right? And even still, like, you can tell the internet is never happy because I posted it, and then I told people if they gave it to me, I would just give it away. But I have no, like, reasonable thought of them actually doing it, right? Like, they're never actually going to do it. But even if they did, I would give it away anyway. Like, I'm not going to keep that. I would feel bad. To be honest, I make enough money to where I don't need donations from anybody. I really don't. I just don't need donations from people. Like, and it's almost to a point where I feel bad getting them, you know? You know, somebody told me a long time ago, like, I started making good money, and they always just said, hey, don't be greedy. Like, greed is what kills a lot of stuff, right? So just don't be greedy. Like, be happy with what you make. You don't always need more. And, like, if you're making more than a lot of people, then be blessed and be happy about it. Like, don't look at how much you could be making and use that to get weird. And I think that's important. You know, I think that's really important. Yeah. Usually it's people who just, like, the scammers are just rampant everywhere you go, you know. Yeah. Well, it's not that. So Sam, usually the scam attempts in Discord is like they'll copy Pawn's username like fully. Most of the time it's Pawn, right? They copy his name fully, and then they message people. They use the same background picture and they message him, and they message people and they say, hey, what's up? It's Pawn. You know, hey, so I was running through this, and if they know Pawn from the stream, they're like, oh, hey, it's Pawn. And if they know him from the stream, they'll be like, hey, you know, I've got this great opportunity. And a lot of the time it's like phishing. So they're trying to get you to click a link. They're trying to get you to sign in. They're trying to get you to implement, like, insert your password somewhere so they can steal it and log in on your stuff and steal your money. So, or it's an investment scam where they're trying to get you to send them money. Where they're like, hey, if you send me money, I'll earn you 20% a week or something crazy, unrealistic. And then people are so desperate to gain and look smart that they end up doing it, and then they steal their money, and then they say, hey, well, now you're up 300%. Now you got to pay taxes on it, you know? So you got to send us another 10K. And people are so desperate for their money that they do all kind of dumb stuff to try to get it back. It's a very common scam. You see it a lot. So tomorrow they're going to cut interest rates 25 basis points, right? So tomorrow we're going to cut rates 25 basis points, almost certainly. You know, we're at 97 to 3% likelihood of a rate cut. So we're just incredibly likely that we're going to cut rates 25 basis points tomorrow. I I mean, we have a 3% chance or a little bit less than 3 that we're going to pause interest rates and not cut them at all. But it's just incredibly likely that we're going to instead do a 25 BP cut. It's going to be 25 basis points. Settling with what you're currently earning. Settling with what you're currently earning sounds depressing. I mean, it depends on how much you earn. You know. I'm not saying it's settling. I'm just saying don't be greedy and like... Like, I'm not bragging here. I'm going to try to think of the best way to phrase it. Like, if I think I might make more than the person donating to me, I'd rather them not donate and just keep it, you know, and use it to do what they want to do, you know. Now, I know some people here probably make more than me. I'm not even claiming to make a lot, but, you know, that's kind of where I draw the line there. I'm not saying you can't always try to make more money, right? But it needs to be within reason. Yeah. What are your thoughts on Michael Saylor? People are saying, yeah, I don't know. I think Michael Saylor's a little bit different, though. I think Michael Saylor basically is just holding a lot of Bitcoin, right? Let's ask AI, what does MicroStrategy do? From my understanding, they hold a bunch of Bitcoin. And again, so we've had a Santa rally 15 out of the last 20 years. All right, so business intelligence and analytics. They are a leading provider of business intelligence and analytics cloud-based solutions. Analyze vast amounts of data and make data-driven decisions. The MicroStrategy platform enables businesses to create data visualizations, dashboards, and reports and perform advanced analytics. Industries like finance, retail, healthcare, government use MicroStrategy's tools. They hold Bitcoin. So, I mean, I don't know, dude. I think regardless of what happens to... I don't think they're the next SBF. Anything could happen. But I don't think they're the next SBF for a few different reasons. Number one, FTX was a crypto exchange, right? That's always incredibly risky. Tons of volatility in that sector, where you can make big money, lose big money, all that stuff. A lot of it's kind of the Wild West in that regard in terms of regulation as well, right? And so stuff could happen. Like that's what happened with Sam Bankman-Fried. Now, MicroStrategy is just a big holder of Bitcoin. So versus like SBF, Michael Saylor just holds a lot of Bitcoin. He just owns a lot of Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin's price might go up, down, sideways, whatever. But he's just a big holder of Bitcoin, and so he's a little bit different than SBF. It's not the same thing, I think. So we're bouncing right at this low again. We've been basically moving sideways. And I think we got a large chance that we're going to be sideways today. Yeah, it sounds like Palantir with Bitcoin. Yeah. Definitely need more than I have. Yeah. How do I set up the 200 EMA on a toss? I'm not sure. You gotta go to studies, add study, moving average, exponential, change the length to 200 probably. Yeah, Sam, I was referring to the 40K guy. Yeah, that's why I always tell people, anytime you got some big person like that claims to make a lot of money, you just got to understand how people fabricate stuff in trading. Again, I had a guy that joined my stream who was like, hey, I'm brand new at day trading. You helped me so much. Thank you. And then the next week, it's like, or then 3 weeks later, after I allowed him to do some moderation work for my channel, the next week he's been a pro day trader for 30 years and he's telling people that in chat. And I'm just like, dude, like people end up painting this image of who they want to be, right? And so, and I've always said this, like, finance is one of those markets where people immediately freaking jump to expert like classification for themselves, like, oh, I'm an expert, I've been trading for 30 years, you know, all this stuff. So people go from rookie to expert real quick in trading, unfortunately. And most of the time they're just nonsense, fugazi, you know, pretending. Right, for sure. It's a little bit more complicated than that TDX, but yeah, no, for sure. What he does a lot of different stuff with it. He uses cash and debt, accumulates Bitcoin. MicroStrategy owns over 190k Bitcoin. And then basically you get somebody that's desperate. And they end up freaking falling for the scam. I had a friend that fell for the scam, to be honest. Yeah, Sam, the point he has is they're trying to get random naive people in the chat to fall for it. And that's why anytime I see that, I'm like, hey, this guy, do not ever send this guy money. Like, they're just trying to scam you. And like, you know, I think you got a range of people that watch the stream. You got smart people, maybe not so smart people. It doesn't matter. You know, there's just a range of people in general, right? But it's kind of like buying a Rolex and hoping it's real, right? Would you buy a Rolex off some random dude on the street without really knowing much about watches or how they work or how to spot them? Probably not. You're setting yourself up for success. For every one real Rolex, you're going to run into 9 fakes, right? So your odds of success are super, super low. It's the same thing with these investment advisors, right? There might be real ones, but if a lot of them are fake and full of crap, then you're setting yourself up to lose a lot. Hey, bud, what would happen? Hey, bud, quick question. What would happen? It depends on if you're looking at Euro US dollar, or like something like the Dixie. Like, and so if you're looking at Euro US dollar, I think that moves a lot with what's the symbol? So it depends on what the ECB does. So if the ECB holds rates and the Fed cuts, the euro is likely go up, pushing the Dixie lower, since the euro makes up about 58% of the Dixie. It depends. In general, lower interest rates makes the dollar less attractive. In past trends, though, is really what you want to look at. The Dixie has historically weakened after Fed rate cuts. Though it depends on like economic stuff. Yeah, dude. Those scams are getting really good too. Like really, really tricky, to be honest. The scams are just getting really freaking good, man. Unfortunately. Hard to vet. Yeah, we'll see what Bitcoin does today. I'm watching for it. Again, we had retail sales data out. many times do I have stock market listed? Alright, so yeah, we got U.S. retail sales. No. Yeah, that's good enough. What? Why is it not letting me exit out of this? Go away. Alright. Whatever. Alright, guys. Alright, let me check back. Sorry. ECB lowering. When is their decision? Oh, we got capacity utilization rate coming out soon. I forgot about that. It's not a big thing at all, though. Industrial production number is not really big either. We got the 20-year bond auction. That's kind of big. Comes out at 1 o'clock today. That's why I'm always questioning the big winners in chat. Yeah, and you should. You know, like, you have to think about it like this, right? Some of them are going to be good, right? Like, some of the traders in chat are good, right? But usually people are very similar in one specific regard, is they want validation, right? Like, they want other people to think how great they are, right? And so a very common thing happens where traders embellish, you know, their gains, looking for attention, and like sometimes throwing the bigger numbers out there gets them more attention, and so they're more likely to kind of like pretend they're making more. It's very common. You just got to be careful. Yeah, Palantir's AI. He might not have been scamming, right? Like, I'm not sure what he's trying to do. He might not have been scamming. I don't know. Yeah, you can. You probably can. Let me go look, by the way. Like, I don't know if he did or not. Oh, man. Let me see. I should be able to find it in analytics. It just depends on when he did it. Yeah, it hasn't showed up yet. I can't remember when he donated to me. Revenue. Yeah, so there it is. So supers and gifts. Super chat. Yeah, so this was December 12th. He didn't... Yeah, he didn't, Yeah. It's still there. I'm trying to trade pre-market, but candles, bars are totally not synced from market price. Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll watch capacity utilization. The market's honestly really flat right now. I'm waiting to trade. Look at gold. Gold's falling down heavy. Look at this big dip in gold. So gold's falling quick. Yeah, so gold's falling quick. I need to get a haircut today sometime, man. That's something I definitely need to do. And again, we're going to be day trading on TopStep X today. So again, TopStep gives you a demo. They test your skill with a demo account. If you pass the test with the demo, they fund you with a regular account between 50K up to 150K. 90% split once you pass the test. If you fail, you only lose the base one, which is 49 bucks. The top one is 150 bucks if you lose. But if you pass the top one, you get 150K in funding tons. And it's a little bit easier to have room with 150K. But it's just a great way to learn how to day trade. And I'm here to tell you, like, most day traders lose. So this is a great way to limit your risk instead of losing, you know, thousands of dollars like a lot of new traders do. You limit your risk to what you pay for what you pay for. The base one's 49 bucks. And again, if you're going to sign up to this and learn how to day trade this way, which I think is a great option, tons of resources. TopStep X has 0 commission, right? So there's 0 commission, only a tiny amount of fees per trade. And so, you know, just understand CFTC 4.41, hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations, guys. I'm not an investment professional. There's the link if you want to check it out. But yeah, retail sales data out. We have capacity utilization rates. I'm trying to see if we have anything that drops. Yeah, so in 15 minutes or in 18 minutes, we have industrial production numbers. Not a big release, but it's something. Like, we'll see what we get. Yeah, it's time for a haircut for sure. Like, if I take my hat off here, whew, my hair just gets so crazy in the morning. Like, it just gets so crazy in the morning. Like, look at it. Like, I definitely need a haircut. Oh, y'all can't see it. My bad. Look. Like, it's time. Like, I have curly hair. So, it's time. Although it is a little bit less cold with this hair. Kind of like a... Alright. But yeah, it's time for a haircut for sure. Yeah, I disappeared. Look at the market pop up. We're almost up to the 200 exponential. We're at 361s. Be glad you have it. I haven't had hair since 99. Yeah, I'm glad I have hair. I really am. But the problem with super curly hair like mine is when I wake up every day, it's crazy. And like, it gets messy real quick. Like real quick, you know. So the problem with it gets messy fast. Yeah, I don't know who that is, Sam. Chris showed up at the Discord. Look at him, man. It's been a while since I've seen him. I can tell it's him because he's got the beard. Canada. Honestly, I like Canada. I really do. Canada's got a good culture. But look at my hair on this thing, man. Canada's got a great culture, you know. Top 3 cultures in the world right now. All right, so I'm looking at a poll here. I asked people, do we run or pull back into the holiday? 55% say run, 32% say pull back, 14% say we go sideways. All right, guys, we got 30 minutes until the opening bell. 30 minutes. Now y'all see why I got a freaking hat on every day. It's too much, man. It's too much. It's time for me to get a haircut. Yeah, I'm still in AMD. I have it sold. I'm slightly red on the day, but I'm green overall in my position list. You got to remember, I scaled out of AMD, right? So I scaled out of it. So I'm down. So we're up hundreds in Amazon. We made a lot on BITO. Remember, we bought BITO at 90 when Bitcoin was at 92K. We're still in it. We're still in it. It's actually our largest position. We have Coca-Cola. We're down about 30 bucks in Coca-Cola. We're up pretty big in Nike. We're up big in Target. We're down in Pepsi, right? But we're green on these positions that we bought the other day. I scaled out. I'm in a very small piece. So I am in I think it's I'm in 25% of my original position in AMD. And I'm down less than $100 in that. So, doesn't MU have earnings today? Or maybe it's tomorrow. Where's, let's check. When's MU earnings? Is it today? I think it's, no, it's not today. Is it tomorrow? It's tomorrow. So MU earnings are tomorrow evening. I wouldn't personally buy them up. Buy here now. PE is super low. You added under studies, Jay. Hair today, gone tomorrow. Definitely. Not my hair's not gonna be gone tomorrow though. I'm gonna keep my hair. I think I have my dad's hair. My dad's over 70. Still got hair. So I'm gonna just put that out there. I'm gonna keep my hair. All right. My buddy is holding 40 options. Nice. Timeout incoming for who? Oh, for you? Nah, you're good, man. Or what setup? High volume. My computer setup? Nah. It just seems kind of like a wasted video. I'm not saying nobody would watch it, but honestly, think about me. I freaking hate editing with a passion. I do not like editing at all. I think editing is one of the top 3 worst, most mundane tasks in the world. I'm honestly pretty freaking excited for AI editing because AI editing over the next 3 years is going to get so good. I'm not going to have to edit anything ever again. And I'm really just hoping it gets to that point because I freaking hate editing anything ever. Oh, sorry. I clicked this link. Oh, those are my strategy. Yeah. I don't know why it popped up there, though. It shouldn't have. It, like, took my whole system down. That's weird. Oh. My platform setup. This is Top Step X. All right, look, we're now pushing above the 200 exponential. So I'm just trading a 50K funded account on Top Step X. I'm running about 80% daily accuracy on this account. Also, give me a follow on X. At Beginner Trades, give me a follow on X. Join our Discord, guys. Why did it log me out? Weird. Oh, because I made that post, yeah. Yeah, so again, guys, I made this X post as well. Over the past 20 years, markets have had a Santa rally. 15 out of the last 20 years, roughly. 75% of the time. And so it's actually a pretty probable thing. And so, like, it's also an election year, which means the likelihood of green action goes up even higher. Yeah, my setups in terms of trading are simple, you know. Bitcoin doing crazy stuff, man. Honestly, I hope it continues going up. Quantum stocks are up too, but I think they're risky. They're risky buys. All right, guys. Remember, we're gonna day trade live at the opening bell. Anyone in Lunar? LUNR? Put it in reverse, Terry. Was that a bad joke? Top 3 worst jokes ever. All right, guys. Lunar honestly looks pretty good on a long-term chart. especially this year. It was at $2 at the start of the year. It's now at 13. Is this a quantum stock? Is this a quantum stock, quantum computing stock? All right, so we're now over the 200 exponential on the NASDAQ. Let's see if we hold, but we're over the 200 exponential now. Space stock. What kind of space stock? Explain it a little bit more for me, please, if you haven't yet. What kind of space? All right, chat. We got 20 minutes left. 20 minutes left. We'll see if we get anything good. I'm gonna day trade larger at the opening bell, like I have been. Data services. Mostly about moon missions. Yeah, I just don't like that industry, man. I think that industry is incredibly difficult. And kind of like, I think the space industry is very difficult to make money in. You know, very difficult to make money in. And I think most people are most space stocks are just the riskiest, one of the riskiest sectors you can invest in, to be real. Yeah, so Lunar is trash for sure. Not as bad as LUNC. Qubit popping with 65% breakout after NASDAQ contracts. What the heck, man? Oh, this is Monday. Okay, here. I gotta filter this out, bro. Come on now. SIDU space stock went on yesterday. I just don't like the space industry. What do you guys see when you invest in space, though? Like, sell me on space stocks in a reasonable way that makes me think they're actually going to go up over time. Because from what I see, the space industry is incredibly expensive, margin heavy, or bad margins. I mean, expense heavy. Not a lot of profitable companies out there in space. Not easy to monetize it. Super risky long term, right? Like, somebody sell me on this in a way that like makes sense, because I just don't understand investing in space stocks. You know what I mean? I just don't understand. Lots of volatility. Yeah. I'd be into SpaceX. Yeah. Are you streaming MU earnings tomorrow? Probably not. We're going to cover the FOMC meeting. I'm going to take a trade here. I don't really love it, but I'm going to take one just because, you know. Just because I think we got like a big dip here. And if we get a bounce, I'm going to short. Let me make sure this is the right contract here. Hold on. Okay, yeah. All right, so we're gonna take this account, which is pretty green. We're actually green. I'm gonna short a pop is what I want. I want a small pop that I can short. And if we don't get a big enough pop, that's okay. We need micro positions here. Can y'all hear the background coming in? Here, so we're gonna take micro position. I'm gonna take one contract here, short. We might actually add a little bit more to it too. Does it really not let me turn this down, son?
That's really sometimes all people need.
All right, there we go. Space stocks jump and dump, not liquid. AVGO was kind of taken. Yeah, but it's up so much here, right? I'm going to short into this a little bit more. We got two contracts here short. AVGO is up so much, though. And so I'm not shocked it's pulling back. 256 is the lifetime highs here. So, like, AVGO is literally at all-time high. Or, no, never mind. I'm wrong. 250 is 252 all-time highs is at 240s. So I guess the point is, like, I'm not shocked to see this fall down a little bit. It's up so much, so much. We're basically flat in our little position here. I like the cup and handle look here, but I also think there's a possibility that we could just chop today. Come on, AMD. All right, we got 15 minutes left. Oh, yeah, we got industrial production right now. I forgot. You're right. We'll cover it. Oh, man. Here, I'm going to cut this right now. I just don't trust it. We lost $5. I forgot we have industrial production numbers coming out right now. And it probably isn't going to move markets, but it's too much for me to really like want to hold through. Industrial production just showed up, or is showing up right now. I don't know if it's going to move markets, but I'm going to cover it regardless. All right, there it goes. So it's supposed to drop right now. It's not out yet. It didn't come out. All right, so industrial productions just showed up lower than expected universally, as well as capacity utilization came in lower than expected as well. And it looks like me cutting that position was right, because look at this big bounce up. It was a short position. Yeah, so we just cut it. We got out of that. There's just no need for me to hold through that. So day in, it's called a rollover. So day in, so you roll over your contracts quarterly to the most liquid contract. At this point in time, I think the most liquid contract is NQH25. And on Top Step, as an example, that's what I'm on right now. And so most people have rolled over already. But yeah, industrial production lower, capacity utilization lower, manufacturing production all lower. So, and the market seems to like this for whatever reason. So looks like me exiting that position was good. The link is in the description, Khalid. There's not a code, so you got to go to the link. There's the link right there. Again, they're not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose. Always understand. If you want to check out Top Step, this is what I'm trading on today. You can see how similar it is to day trading stocks. Like, I should have switched to futures a long time ago when I was day trading stocks. So similar. Less red tape, less restrictions. These funded account programs are allowed. Top Step's the most legit. Understand CFTC 4.41 hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations, though, guys. Not an investment professional. If you copy me, you'll probably lose. Don't copy me. Any tips for strategy for funded account? I would just trade. You got to take risks when you're trying to get funded, and you have to be okay with losing as well. Once you're funded, scale down your size, trade small. I trade with micros, and the good thing about Top Step X is that there's no commission. So, like, look, I can trade these micro contracts, and it's 74 cents in fees per contract. That's a tiny amount, right? One contract can make you $10, $20, $30. So 74 cents to make $10, $20, $30 per contract is tiny amount of commission, tiny amount of commission. But again, I'm biased, of course. Yeah, I remember Tefts. Tefts was fun. The old school days, man. Long time ago. With the investment news that SoftBank investing in the U.S., how could that affect markets? I mean, it could invest in markets in some ways, but we'll see. We'll have to wait for that type of thing. You guys like my mug? It's the Grinch. Y'all can't see it. It's the Grinch. My daughter actually has an unreasonable phobia of the Grinch. She's genuinely scared of it. Alright, guys. Maybe my short would have worked, but I might take something now. That looks kind of strong, though. I'll wait. I'm loving my new computer though, dude. This thing's quick, it's fast, it works really well. What is your setup like? What kind of setup? You got to be a little bit more specific. Oh, you're talking about my... Oh, I got to think of the context. My PC setup. So I got a... I bought a 49-inch ultra wide monitor, right? So if you see my... if you join our Discord, you can actually see my setup. I posted it the other day. Yeah. So if you see my Discord, you can join. This is my setup. We posted it the other day, right? So this is my setup here. But if you join our Discord, you can kind of see it. It's a ultra wide monitor. So it's a 49-inch ultra wide monitor. It's pretty cool. I like it. I used to have 3 rows or 3 different monitors on the bottom row. I replaced it all with just one monitor, and it's super quick, super high quality, and yeah, I just like it a lot more. And so it uses less processing power on my computer, so I can do more stuff. I bought a new PC as well, so I got a new PC. My last PC was about 4 years old. Yeah, it's got 32 gigs of RAM, so it's not... I had more RAM. I'll probably buy some RAM sticks for it eventually and just throw those in here like I did the last ones, but so far it's so good. Yeah, it was time. Max the RAM, put it. Yeah, for sure. RAM is good. On my last computer, I had like 128 gigs or something crazy. And so I'll probably buy some RAM sticks and at least put like 64 gigs in there or something. Honestly, another thing that's helping is my speed, right? So I upgraded my internet speed. You know, so I upgraded my modem. So now I'm running 2.5 gigs I'm running 2,500 megabits per second internet, which is the fastest internet I've ever had. It's honestly surprisingly cheap as well. Like, I'm paying like $120 a month for 2.5 gigs, which is crazy. Honestly, and most computers can't even handle that right now. Right? But my computer handles over a gig, and so my internet's much faster now too. Like, it's the fastest I've ever had. It's like a 2 terabyte SSD. So it's a 2 terabyte solid state drive. This is a Odyssey G9, I believe is what this monitor is called. It's $49. You can trade on Trade-Evate. You can trade on a couple different platforms. I would trade with Top Step X though, because that's where you get 0 commissions, Khalid. Yeah, I'm not really a super hardware nerd. Rufio? Is it the guy from Hook? Rufio? Anyways, I'm not really a big hardware nerd, that's for sure. Like, I honestly, I probably could have gotten a much better PC, like speccing out the different things and just upgrading or buying separate parts for it. But like, again, I'm not really a big hardware nerd. I'd rather just buy a packaged PC and throw a good monitor on it. Maine is different. Like, I certainly make a lot running this YouTube channel, Desmond, you know. But I also have rental properties, like, you know, paid off. I have income from, I'm a real estate agent as well. I've got software development. I make money in a bunch of different ways. But I certainly make a lot running this YouTube channel for sure, you know. But again, I mean, I provide a service. And so, you know, nobody here's doing this out of the kindness of their heart. They're all doing this to make money, and that shouldn't be anything you get upset about. The only people that really get upset when other people make money are people that don't, and they're just kind of frustrated with themselves. But yeah, I mean, I do this to make money for sure. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not really a big hardware guy. I'm a software nerd. I'm a programmer in nature, so like, I'm a software nerd, not a hardware nerd. You know, I like good computers and stuff, but again, I'm impatient, man. I just want my computer now. I do some software stuff. JavaScript, React Native. Small computers are interesting for basic computer stuff. Bitcoin Puppet, is it still? Yeah, it's up to... The lifetime highs on Bitcoin are right here. So, like, if we look at this... I'm going to make this green. This green line right here on this chart over here is the lifetime high on Bitcoin. So, Bitcoin's going up there. I should have shorted. My short would have worked. We had that head and shoulders pattern. Yeah, it's front-end development. I'm certainly not a back-end developer, you know. It's almost all front-end, for sure. It's mostly like mobile development, mostly, you know. All right, guys, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. A lot of streamers push their uber expensive Discord to pump and dump the trades. Yeah, I mean, my big thing, though, like, people have to understand this. Python's good. Python was the first language I learned. Very literal language. You know, we use a lot in, like, machine learning algorithms and AI. So it's a good language. But if I could go back, I would learn a harder language first. Because I think learning something like Python, which is so literal, and I'm not going to say easy, but just very, very literal, I would rather learn something harder first, and then that would make learning Python much easier, right? Versus learning something like Python first, and then like eventually I gravitated towards JavaScript, and you know, from there React, and then I wanted to learn mobile development, so React Native, and so it just kind of like, if I could go back, I would change the order I learned things in, but you know. But no, I'm going back to Sightless, who said a lot of streamers push their Discords. I've told people there's no paywalls behind my content, and I have to stick to it, right? So there's no paywalls behind my content. I'm not going to charge you guys for any of my content, because again, I'm not even claiming to like be a good trader, right? Like, I'm not even claiming to be good. That's not really what I'm about. I'm mostly an economist. I like covering economic data, like CPI, FOMC meetings, Jerome Powell stuff, like earnings. And so I cover market news more than anything else. You know, I think it's a very difficult standard to promise or to claim to be an expert in anything. I think almost all day traders lose money. And I think telling people you're the greatest day trader of all time and then using that to sell them stuff, I can't do that. I would much rather just be real with people. And then if I lose every day for a week straight, nobody can really tell me anything because... Nobody can really tell me anything because I'm not claiming to be good, you know. I gotta fix my green screen a little bit, but yeah. All right, guys, we got 2.5 minutes left. 2.5 minutes. All right, guys, here we go. We did get that breakdown. I should have held that short. But we also could get choppiness today because we have the Fed meeting tomorrow. Right, so it's possible we get choppy stuff too. Hey, good luck, check. All right, Chad, here we go. We got a minute left. All right, so we're breaking down. We're at 333s on the NASDAQ here. All right, guys, here's the opening bell. Here's the opening bell. We'll see if we get anything good. I wish they would do this in order. All right, guys, here's the open. There's the opening bell. Yeah, let's watch NVIDIA here. I'm curious about NVIDIA. Broadcom break it down. Tesla falling down too. NVIDIA all the way down to 120s here, guys. Look at that. Very weak. I'm going to let 5 minutes play out first after the opening bell. What's GameStop doing? All right, so GameStop did rip up at the opening bell. NASDAQ just cracked lows, or at least is getting very close to cracking lows. Look at that. There's the low crack. So NASDAQ really flushed it down big here at the opening bell. NVIDIA's kind of going back up. Let's see what Apple's doing. Tesla falling down some. Apple's breaking down some. Meta's up, actually up to 630s. Crazy. Microsoft flat. Google up. Google's up to almost 200 again. So what's dragging the NASDAQ down? Netflix, not Netflix. What's dragging the NASDAQ down? Is it Tesla specifically? It's got to be some other reason, no? It could be AVGO. Yeah, so this is AVGO's dip. So Broadcom falling all the way back down. I'm going to let things play out first, but man, that's some red action at the opening bell. Bitcoin's almost to all-time highs. It's not quite there yet, but it's close. Well, I'm looking at Amazon. Amazon's not down too much either, I think. Let me see. Is it? Yeah, it's down some. This is Amazon and Broadcom, I guess. Tesla ain't really helping either. So Amazon, Tesla, Broadcom breaking down at the opening bell. Yeah, MU has earnings tomorrow too, so maybe that's what this is. We're gonna wait. We gotta wait 5 minutes to play out first before we attack anything big here. So just stick around, guys. We are gonna day trade. We're just waiting. And it's a good strategy, I would say, to just wait and not get into something super early in the morning because things change. There's a big pop. All right, so we're 3 minutes into the open now, just about. I'm reading some stuff at the top. Retail sales is what I said at the top. Hold on. Retail sales. Yeah. There we go. Guys, so now we're testing these lows here. 3.5 minutes into the day. There, just crack lows again. Let's see if it's a liquidity grab and it breaks lows and then it pops right back up. It's possible. All right, so it cracked lows and then let's see what it does here. We're right at the bottom of the range, so if it doesn't work, people are gonna get scared and jump out quickly here. Yep, there's the liquidity grab, pop back up. Called it. Bitcoin hasn't quite breaking lifetime highs yet. Advanced money destroyer. Where's AMD at? Yeah, it's down to 124s. All right, broke lows again. Just trying to try to pop back up. All right, we got 5 minutes into the day. All right, we got our first position after the opening bell. We got one contract here. We might add a little bit to it, but we're gonna keep it small. Actually, take just one. There, no. I'm like, hey, we're gonna take just one. Adds two immediately. Come on. All right, we took half off. Didn't really get much profit from it, but that's okay. The problem is if it breaks, if it breaks, we could lose a lot quickly, but hopefully it doesn't. There we go. Come on. All right, we just made about $20 there. We'll take it. Green is good. I changed my mind quick, guys. Don't get mad. All right, so we did bounce up after doing a couple little liquidity grabs. Small green day so far. We're gonna add some to this. 2 contracts so far. We get a little pop up. There we go. Out. Called it. How much did we make there? We made about $40 just now, or $30 on that last trade. We're probably up like 50, 60 bucks on the day. Not bad for 7 minutes. Oh, look at that turn here, guys. Wow, so still falling. Still struggling to hold down here, though. Breaking down here. Hey, baby. How you doing? All right, guys. Yeah, we got 2 contracts now. Or 1 contract, I mean, I'm sorry. I just made another $15 here. No losing trades yet. Call it the bounce. I'm gonna wait. Why is it flushing? A recession coming? No. Look, guys. If the market goes like this, and then goes like this, does this mean a recession? Genuine question. Of course not. And not yet, at least. You know? But, like, you can't ignore this. Get your mind out the gutter, guys. Okay, get your mind out the gutter. You can't ignore that and then say this is a recession. Okay? Yeah, Powell's talk tomorrow will be important. Nvidia bounced it all the way back up. Nvidia is the one that's pretty red, and if Nvidia starts to run back up, maybe it'll drag the market back up too. See what Nvidia does. Nvidia looks like it wants to come back, so I still want to buy it, but we got 2 contracts here. I want to give it time to bounce, but I don't really like it. I'm going to trade with the profit that I have. Maybe add a little bit more down here too. 3 contracts total. I, of course, don't want us to keep breaking lows, but we took a piece off of there just to protect it. I think we got it a little bit too large. There we go. All right, so far so good. Slow, steady. Another $30, $40 gain there. Up almost 100 on the day. We're reading the market fairly well. I think Nvidia could make another. Nvidia's dropped a lot, right? So the reason I like buying down here is because like Nvidia's fallen so quickly that like that eventually it's not gonna keep falling. Eventually it's gonna come back some, and that's what we see now. It's back up to almost 130, so that's what it is. Apple's heading up too. Yeah. Apple up to 252s. Oh, I was going to buy that little retracement too, but I'll wait. Yeah, AMD's still dipping. Apple's breaking lifetime highs this morning, so that's something you want to watch. Look at Apple. Apple just broke lifetime highs. New lifetime highs 252.08 for Apple, I'm pretty sure. Yep, 252.08, new lifetime high for Apple right here. So Apple cracking lifetime highs this morning. Yeah, AMD's definitely looking weak. But who knows what it's going to do. And again, I'm day trading on Top Step today, guys. So if you want to day trade with me, Top Step's funded account program, they give you a demo. They test your skill with a demo account first. If you pass the test, they fund you. If you fail, you only lose the monthly subscription. The base one's $49 for a monthly subscription. If you pass the challenge, you got to make $3K in profit without losing $2K to pass it. Reasonable 2 to 3 ratio. If you pass it, you get a $50K funded account, 90% split on the funded account, and you get to keep your first $10K in profit. So it's very similar to funding your own account once you pass it. The risk, less than $50 a month. And so it's the best of both worlds. It's a great way to learn day trading too, because you're still risking something. You're learning how to trade under pressure. But if you fail, you're not down 10, 20, 30 grand like you would if you funded your own account a lot of the time. As well as like most day traders lose, but most day traders will probably lose this as well because most day traders just genuinely lose. It's a lot cheaper to lose here. Futures market, you could day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, the Russell, gold, some currencies. You see me looking at NVIDIA to gauge what this does. And again, look at NVIDIA on the right side and then look at the NASDAQ here that I'm trading. Very similar price action. No PDT rule in futures. Just they are a sponsor of mine. I'm biased for sure. So I get paid by them. So, of course, I'm biased. Confirm all the stuff with them. I can't guarantee anything. Not an investment professional. Understand CFTC 4.41. Hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations, guys. Top 3 biggest best sellout in the world right now. Is it possible for the market to keep going up? Yeah, it's possible. I mean, it's possible for it to crash tomorrow too. I mean, anything's possible in markets for the most part. Is it probable is what you should be asking, and I don't know. Apple has had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 green candles in a row. Look at this big old rebound back up here, guys. NVIDIA pouncing back up to almost 130s. Apple breaking lifetime highs again up to 259.60 or 252.60s. Bitcoin just broke all-time highs again. Bitcoin broke all-time highs again here. Santa rally too? Link is above you. Yeah, what a move. Apple up to 252.80s, almost 253s here. The NASDAQ has fallen over the 200 exponential as well. Bitcoin just topped the lifetime high. Slightly tapped it. Bitcoin completely reversed. We just broke highs. We're right at the 200 exponential now. I don't know what I want to do here. Hey, thank you, Tiny. Have a great day. NVIDIA coming back down some now. Again, it's the day before the Fed meeting, so I think it's tricky. All right, I'm gonna buy this dip, take 2 contracts here, see if we retrace fast back up, but it's risky position. I'm gonna take half off there. I don't like it. All right, so we ended up making money there too. Not a lot, but we got out. It went a little bit too quickly against me the original time, and so I just got to be careful there, I think. Coming all the way back down here too. NVIDIA under the VWAP 200 exponential. Apple might start to pull back. We don't know what's going to happen. Look at GameStop come all the way down to $30 a share. See if that holds. Long for the next hour. I don't know. I don't think we had any economic data, but let me make sure. Again, tomorrow's the biggest day of the month. FOMC decision. We got business inventories in 10 minutes. What do you think someone who sees trading as gambling? I mean, I think people are allowed to define whatever they want to define. I think it depends, right? Like, I think it depends on how you define gambling. If you think it's just risking money, gambling's prevalent in a lot of different things. And the life is a gamble in that regard. If you classify it as gambling as risking money with unfavorable odds, then it depends on the person, you know. No, you're not allowed to hedge in that regard. Check. Sorry, brother. Not from my understanding. All right, so we're popping back up. My long trade would have worked too. What I'm noticing is like some of the, look at Bitcoin still steady ripping up. So Bitcoin's still pushing up. Bitcoin futures up to 585. Yeah, for sure, Justin. 100%, man. Big red candle here. I think it might retrace up quickly, though, but maybe not. Yep. 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 See, I gotta go with my intuition sometimes. But, it's all good. I don't know what it's gonna do now. I just thought it would retrace up some of that, and it did. Yeah, Nvidia's cheap right now, I think. I mean, I don't know if it's cheap. Like, I think the PE ratio is still pretty bad for Nvidia, but there's maybe, you know, I don't know. I think it could go up or down. I'm not sure with Nvidia. I think momentum's on its side, but PE ratio is bad. Like, conventional value's not, you know, so it just depends on how you look at Nvidia. All right, look at Bitcoin still rising at 740s, 108 740s for Bitcoin futures here. So spot Bitcoin is going to be about $800, $600 lower depending on the platform that watches it. But not too shabby here, Chad, not too shabby. All right, big rebound back up. Kind of chop, though. We're getting kind of choppiness here. Aren't we overdue for a recession? Not necessarily. Like recessions aren't... Like, eventually we always hit one because human nature is consistent. But it's not like we have to hit one every few years, right? Like, that's the wrong way to look at recessions, right? You have to look at the warning signs of a recession. So you have to look at GDP. You look at unemployment numbers, right? GDP is almost at 3%. We get GDP data dropping on Thursday this week. We'll see what it shows up, but it's expected at 2.9%, not a weak level. Unemployment's under 4.5% as well. So that's not really showing economic weakness that would signal an incoming recession. Now, we had some other stuff like the SOM rule that happened over the past 6 months, but even SOM herself said that she didn't think this specific instance of it would lead to a recession soon. And time has proven that correct, right? Where we didn't hit a recession. GDP's at 3%, unemployment's at under 4.5%. And so we're not really seeing the big weak signs, you know. And when I say this, right, like, people have been so biased politically all year that they might get mad if I say, hey, we're not really looking like we're in a recession, because they've been basically fed, look how bad things are, elect our guy, you know. But like, the real reason things aren't I'm not saying things are bad, but inflation is a problem, right? But inflation is a sign of a strong economy, not a weak one, right? When the economy does better, people spend more, prices go up. That's economics. And so, what we're really dealing with is high inflation that we got from government stimulus over the past 5 years, right? And that inflation has made a lot of things super expensive. Prices have gone up for a lot of things 2 to 3x. And that's really why people are unhappy. And so we're kind of in this neutral period, I would say, where inflation's bad, so things aren't perfect and rosy and great, but the economy's not weak either, So like it's not like unemployment's at 6%, 7%, and GDP's at a negative number, And remember, a recession is technically defined as 2 consecutive losing GDP quarters. And so you don't want to get too wrapped up in politics, because both political sides have bias, right? One side wants to make you think it's bad, one side wants to make you think it's great, and neither of them are correct right now. I'd say we're somewhere in the middle, to be honest. Yeah, all I'll say is somebody said having a young girl, like, what I'll say is if you're too young, ask your parents. Definitely not an investment professional. Do not copy me. You'll probably lose money. Ask your parents. Don't copy anything I say or do. You'll probably lose money. Ask your parents. I don't know how old you are, but yeah. Definitely the top 3 worst investor of all time. No, you definitely don't want to copy me, guys. Is Tesla ripping? Let me see. So there's Bitcoin breaking highs. I'll put this up a little bit larger here. And then we'll put 2 charts up. Apple is breaking lifetime highs. It got up to almost 253s. And I think we might go up more, because I think Apple's going to break 253 today, but I might be wrong. Somebody's talking about Tesla. Tesla, guys, 480s, lifetime highs. Bitcoin. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, guys. I just don't see much else going on. We're green on both accounts on the day. I'm going to bow out for the day. I'll take it. Green is good today. I'll take it. I'm green on both accounts. Good enough for me here today, guys. Good enough for me. And again, guys, if you haven't already, check out Top Step. I've been day trading on Top Step. We're green in both of our funded accounts, which is good. These are both 50K funded accounts. No PDT rule in futures, so you can day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, the Russell, gold. On Top Step X, there's zero commission. 74 cents in fees, but no commission per contract. Just a great way to learn how to day trade. Find more in the link in the description. I love you all. Have a great day, guys. Be safe. Oh, we're going to get out. Tomorrow, we got the FOMC meeting. Guys, it's a huge day for finance. One of the biggest days of the month for sure. Thursday, we got GDP data, another huge important day. It's expected at almost 3% at 2.9%. Friday, we have the Fed's preferred inflation metric over CPI. It's called PCE, the personal consumption expenditure. The big one that the Fed and everybody else looks at is core PCE. It's expected, again, guys, at, what is PCE expected at this week? Let me see real quick before I head out. It's expected at, core PCE expected at 0.2%. 2.9% on the year for core. So yeah, we'll see you guys later. I love you all. You'll have a great day. Be safe. Remember, guys, just if I could leave you with one overarching point of the stream here, it's that I am not an investment professional. Do not copy me. You will probably lose money. I'm one of the top 3 worst investors / traders of all time in the world right now. I love you all. Y'all have a great day.